It's getting aggravating. I'm gonna try this and see if it'll work without the music, because this is getting very annoying. And I'll probably just keep my mic on. Four. Okay. Let's see, chain 2. And then increase here. Alrighty. Well, hopefully my stream will stay actually on the money without the music playing, which sucks because I really wanted music. But if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work, at least for me right now. Yeah, and my sister's in the chat. I think she's the only one watching right now, and she's saying the music is definitely what messed me up. Yeah, go ahead and fire off some questions so I can fill the dead air. And actually, there we go. Oh no, it's so tiny. My Twitch chat right there is really, really tiny. I see the Husker. Keyboard Matt, besides him, who is your fave Has-Been Hotel character? I have to say probably Valentino, probably. I'm a sucker for a good villain. This one's the increase. Shoot. What is your bestseller when it comes to anime conventions? It definitely will be my... It kind of just depends on the con, but so far it's been my octopus keychains. They're really popular because they're so cute. I actually have a few finished ones. Hold on. Let me get this one. This is what they look like. The cute little, let me do it this way so you all can see it. Cute little keychain. Little octopus with little faces. They're so cute. Those are probably, and they're also pretty quick to make, so I like working on them. Right now, for this, I'm working on the boring part, which is just doing the base. What do you wish you sold more of at cons? Probably more of my sewn stuff. Like, I do sewn dice bags and trays, and they do fairly well, but I still have I haven't had to make a new one in like a year, because I made so many and they just don't sell as quickly. So I guess my sewn stuff, probably. And I'm terribly sorry. The way I had this out is I'm supposed to have chat come out in... Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, in the side thing up here, but I have no idea if it actually is. So there's that. So I'm having to use chat on my phone. So if anyone other than my sister shows up, that's why I might be a bit slow. And the reason my sister is not in the room with me is because she's watching her puppy, and she likes to mess with my cat, who is in sleepy time mode right now, and get very energetic. And unfortunately, she's too big right now to actually play with him. She's a bit too rambunctious. Oh, let me look at chat. Hold on. When it comes to sewn things, do you think apparel would be something you'd include in your con lineup? I really want to. I really want to put apparel in the lineup. My sister and I are going to be doing some denim jackets. We found a huge haul of denim jackets on our last trip to Texas, because where we used to live in that area, the thrift stores are amazing. And we found like probably at least 20 denim jackets to work on of various sizes, which was really, really nice. So we got that. And then I have a ton of fabric that I just want to modify and just make some apparel. I know it's a bit hit or miss when it comes to cons, because you can only make so much of so many of the sizes, but I think it would be fun. Oh, and she told me, yeah, chat's not popping up in my little thingy. Oh, well, keep knitting. It's not knitting, it's crochet. And I was looking at your thingy. I'm so sorry if I stopped for 2 seconds to look at what you were saying in the chat. That was row 4. Let me pull my pattern back up so I can see it. Okay, yep, row 4 is where we stopped the boring part, and now we're about to get into This is why I need to be there for chat. Oh, yes, yes, that's why you do need to be here. But your baby is a bit rowdy, so you can't. This is where we get to the fun part, where I started beads. Okay. So what I just did was I chained 2, and I take a bead, put it on my hook, yarn over, then I do a half double crochet, which is just that, and then I go through everything. Half double crochet, and then I just do a half double crochet in the next one. There we go. And then we just keep going all the way around. Once it gets to a certain point, it's not as difficult. These are cheap dollars. Well, they're not cheap, but they're pony beads I got from the dollar store, so they're not part of the set that I'm used to working with. So they might not go through as easily as I would like. Pour the yarn over. It looks like to get it to work properly, I'm gonna have to hold the beads while I do the half double crochet, but that's fine. Get back here. Oh, here we go. What's your fave con experience / story as a vendor? Well, the very first con of the year, I actually sold my first and well, the only one I've sold and the very first one I ever made of my custom dolls. I sold it at the very first con of this year, and it was to one of the kids of one of the vendors, and she'd been saving up the whole con for it, and it made my day. It was just wonderful. And then the other one was most of the team from Farfetched came by my booth at Anime Matsuri this year and got some Grilk pins, which is an inside joke to the show. And I also got to give Dave a gift again this year. Last year it was some embroidery hoop art that was Evil Dead inspired, and this year I gave him stuff for his pet rat ranch, and I still need to see those cute photos because I need to see rats in sweaters, darn it. those are my two, at the moment, best con experiences. I've had a lot over the years, just sprinkled here and there, but those are the two that stand out to me at the moment. What is your favorite thing to make in any medium? It just depends on what I'm feeling, honestly. Some things I'm super excited to make at the time, and then other times it's a bit of a chore. It just depends what I'm feeling. So I don't really have a quote unquote favorite. It's like when I'm in the zone and sewing, I'm in the zone. I could sit at the machine for hours, but I don't sew as much as I should just because I can't do other things while I'm doing it because the machine is loud. Like when I'm knitting or crocheting, I can definitely listen to music, watch podcasts, things like that, watch TV. But when I'm sewing, it's very hard to do that unless I have some really loud headphones, noise-canceling headphones on while I work. But in that sense, I can't really understand my surroundings very much, so that's the downside of it. If you could make anything to sell or otherwise, what would it be? I really want to get into resin work. I really want to make my own Dungeons and Dragons dice. I've always been a fan of that. And I wanted to get into the hobby, quote unquote, before it was cool. I had been researching like different ways to make dice before the huge indie dice boom of the last few years. I just hadn't gotten around to it because I just didn't have the money to pick up resin. And that particular hobby, and I actually remember I can't remember his username, but he's a really well-known dice YouTuber now. But I remember seeing his like Skittles dice, which I think were like the first dice he made forever ago, that YouTube video. And I'm like, this guy's pretty cool, I'll sub. And then about a year, maybe a few months later, it's like, he is the it person on YouTube for dice making. And I'm like, oh wow, good for you, dude. So, but that is one thing I'd really like to get into. And I have a tiny mini dice mold set that I need to grab the small amount of resin that I have that I got on sale at craft store to just try and see if I can get that to work properly, because I think last time I mixed it improperly. I'm pretty sure I already told a story just a few seconds ago that was in the con experience thing. But something fun that I did get, let me just count my stitches because I feel like I'm off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. Am I supposed to have 48? I am, so I'm going to fudge this last thing a little bit. Put an extra bead here. Oh, wait, no, I have to do this first bit first. Dadgummit. I frazzled myself. No, I did it wrong again. Ugh. Here. Bead. Yarn over. Then you go in. And I think I messed up, so I'm gonna do... No, I need to do a half double crochet. Just gonna do a half double crochet into that same stitch because I messed up. And then do my join. Cool, cool, cool. It had to be on the section where I'm working with black, because black is always so hard to see. Thankfully, crochet is a bit more forgiving than knitting. Okay. And then I just keep going. So it was row 5. Other than selling at cons, what do you plan on selling when it comes to online mediums? Yes, yes, counting. No, don't sing. No. Well, for this kind of stuff, I do plan on putting it on my own Square shop because I tried Etsy and it was just the fees were too much. I wasn't making enough. Sales to justify staying on that site. But I know I plan on selling cosplay prints for both my Safe for Work and I might have a not safe for work that I'm working on. But it's, sorry, bad puns are aplenty here. But I also do Let's Plays, things like that. Hopefully can continue to do things like that. For now, it's just for fun. Knitting or crochet? This particular medium I'm doing right now is crochet, but I started out knitting. I think I've been knitting for, I think 11 years. I started when I was in high school. Oh, I messed that up. Let me do that again. I've been crocheting for maybe 2 years now, and I only just do what I can, really. But again, crochet is a lot more forgiving, so, and it works up faster, so I know why a lot of people choose this medium over knitting, especially if they did not start out knitting. They crocheted first and then went into knitting and got tired of it. I totally understand that. I just am a masochist, and that's why I knit. It's a lot less forgiving, and it takes a lot longer. But the way it looks is totally worth it in the end. The style that knitting can do is just absolutely beautiful. You can mimic some of it with crochet, but not quite the same. Although one thing that I haven't tried with knitting yet that I probably should is just intarsia or actual color work. If you see an item that looks like it has color work on it, I most likely did duplicate stitch because, whoop, pardon me, I do not like fiddling with multiple colors in rows unless I can help it. Oh, would she like more? Would you rather knit socks or sew a cosplay costume? I don't know. They're both about equal to me because I make my mom a pair of Christmas socks every year. And then it just depends on the costume, because some cosplays are fairly easy to sew. Others are ones that are not at all easy to sew. It just depends on what's going on. you get back here? Since I don't have my music, it would be cool if I did some knitting instead of crochet, just to like add to a quote-unquote ASMR type thing with this. But you'll just have to settle for me doing that. Yeah, no, I think it's probably my... Aw, thank you, Isaiah, for following me. I just saw that. Thank you so much. I lost my train of thought because that made me happy. Stop yarning over before you put the bead. I was pretty happy that I was like, yeah, I found a nice little playlist. It's royalty-free music. It's electro swing. I love it. And then my computer can't handle it. But honestly, I think it's because right now I don't have an Ethernet cable, connected to my computer from my router. I just have a certain port type thing off to the side that is supposed to locate our Wi-Fi and then connect to the computer, because this computer won't automatically go to Wi-Fi. But it can be a bit hit or miss, and I might just have to bite the bullet and have my uncle help me drill a hole in the ceiling so that I can fit an insanely long Ethernet cord into this office, because the only place in the house that we currently have that the router could be is upstairs at the tippity top in a quote-unquote third floor loft area. And thankfully my office is like right underneath it, but I would need to have him drill me a hole and help me mount the cord to the wall so that I could do that. And I might bite the bullet and do that, because sometimes getting this thing to connect is like pulling teeth. But until I have to, I'm not gonna. Yep, go boss man, go. The great Isaiah, who just followed, is the awesome dude behind Last Man Standing, which is a Halo machinima I am helping him voice in. It's a lot of fun. I know it's in the title of your stream, but what is your next con? My next con is SpaCon, which is in Hot Springs, Arkansas. No. Okay. Man overboard. It's my first year doing this convention. I've always wanted to visit Hot Springs, Arkansas, just because I've driven past it on my way to Texas, like, many, many times. And I don't think I'm going to stay long enough to actually be able to do touristy stuff there, like any of the hot springs or any of the historical stuff, but I do think it's pretty cool, and if this con goes well, I'll try to go next year, since it's a bordering state, because for the next year, except for maybe one, maybe two Texas conventions, I'm gonna try to do conventions that border either Kentucky or Tennessee, which are the two states that I frequent. 1, 2. Get in there. So I don't have to take too much time off of work. What are your other events for the rest of the year? After SpaCon, I only have 2 other events. One is the Pretty in Pink fashion show in Nashville. Not quite sure how that one's gonna turn out. It's, I believe, a breast cancer awareness event that was supposed to be last year, but got canceled because of COVID. And I'd already paid for it, and I didn't want to have to deal with refund shenanigans. So I'm like, yeah, pull me over to the next year. And hopefully my sis and I will have some apparel stuff for that. I'll probably be doing more of my normie stuff. I have a lot of shawls that are really pretty, some baby stuff, things like that. And then after that, I have ClarksvilleCon, which was actually the first con that I did this year, and they're having another one. So it's a 1-day con, which are usually super hit or miss. Sometimes I do great and make booth. Other times I barely make booth. And it's disheartening, but I know a lot of people don't really have disposable income because of inflation and such. So I'm not like too worried about it, but I know a lot of people in the Tennessee convention circuit or just the Southern convention circuit who are most likely, I have a feeling, are going to be at this convention, so I'll at least get to see some friendly faces. And hopefully at SpaCon I'll see some friendly faces or meet some new people, because it's always fun meeting vendors in the Southern Convention Circuit. So far, I haven't done anything in the Northern Convention Circuit, but everybody who I've like either been neighbors with or talked with has just been super nice. Just absolutely wonderful. Besides craft streams and gaming streams, what other craft/things would you stream? Well, I know I want to do some, like, storytime streams in the sense of me reading storybooks, whether they be chapter books, just books on poetry. I actually have a few books that I found at an antique shop that are most likely safe to read because they're so old. And then I have a few other books. I might ask some indie authors that I bought books from at cons if I can read their stuff and things like that. I know that I definitely want to do some embroidery on here. Diamond art maybe, because those look pretty cool. Definitely gaming streams. I have quite a few that I have been itching to play, and I just would rather stream them instead of record a Let's Play. Because that's just how it is.